Hello, everyone. So I want to do a quick video on what's going on in Charlotte. And often people who come off against, as unsympathetic for the victims, they're asked, how can they be so calloused? How can your sympathy align with the police officers? And let's look at the facts here. We have an armed man who had a gun, who was ordered to drop his gun, apparently did not comply, and then was shot. Now, his family, said, oh, well, he was reading a book. It's probably worth noting, no book was found at the scene. There's always this inherent distrust of authority. I mean, you look at what happened with that guy in Baltimore, uh, getting brutalized, and you look at his track record. And then there was the Ferguson protest where that guy actually assaulted the clerk. So, just looking at the riots and all the responses and the decrepit cry of police brutality, it's just absurd. I mean, it's been established multiple times that if you adjust for socioeconomic background, that the whole race problem goes away. You realize it is poor people who are being shot, and a disproportionate of the amount of the poor population happens to be black. And I'm sorry if I'm stuttering here. I've got roughly 3 hours of sleep last night. I'm just creating this video right before my differential equations class. So frankly, to me, it's just absurd. It's absurd that people automatically side against the police every single time. I saw it in Boulder. I saw it with Jessica Hernandez, who was some Hispanic transgendered woman who hit a police with a car, and then there was a huge moment of, oh, brown lives matter in this case, and oh, I'm sorry, and the guy across from me wrote, I'm sorry that these brutal pigs shot you, and then it kind of turned into this war because we both had whiteboards on our door, and I eventually it eventually came to the point of the Baltimore riots, and I said anybody who would riot in their own country, destroying their own community, destroying their local shops, that whoever would do that is a savage. And the guy across from me thought I was talking about all black people, and he said, "Oh, I guess I'm a savage then." And I just said, if you wanted to riot, if you were going to riot, then yes, you are a savage. He just had no response. He had no response to the actual when I talked about adjusting for socioeconomic background, when I talked about the disproportionate amount of African American crimes, when I talked about all of these things, he just did not have a response. In his lens, he was an oppressed black man who was going to a college that charges $40,000 a year for tuition. Granted, I think he had a few scholarships, and he wasn't from a really well-off family. But with that being said, it wasn't like he was, poor on the slums growing up, which is what he, had us all thinking. It's just absolutely absurd. I just wanted to create this quick video. Chances are nobody's going to watch it, but I just wanted to record something on this. Hopefully the police do release the video. I mean, guess what? There's no reason why this video would interfere with the case right now. You guys are making yourself look guilty. Even if the video is inconclusive, it doesn't mean that the police did anything wrong. It just means, when you say it's inconclusive, you literally cannot conclude in one way or the other. You can't conclude whether he was resisting or not. Yeah, we know how the protesters are going to use the video, but there has to be a certain amount of transparency, and the commissioner or whoever's in charge of that police department wrote, if by transparency, I can actually pull up the actual quote. Where is it? So, yeah, they're sending in the National Guard. Transparency, I'm sorry. Transparency is in the eye of the beholder. If you think we're going to display a victim's worst day for public consumption, that is not the transparency I'm speaking of. And guess what? That's absolute bollocks. Transparency is in the eye of the beholder. No, transparency is when you're open with the people who you're governing over. And yeah, there should be a certain amount of transparency. Not completely transparent. If this was like an active murder investigation or something, and you're trying to prevent information from being leaked that could compromise the case, then yes, keep it from the public. That's fine. But this is not the case. Like, the guy is already dead, and nobody's going to be killed or harmed if the information is actually leaked. I think this is one of the worst ways police have handled this case. With that being said, I'm not going to go up in arms given that the guy had a gun on him. I'm sure that in due time a video will be released. And I highly doubt that man was reading a book, but I'm just speculating. Well, that's all I really have to say. I'm gonna release a few updates after this, and yeah, you guys have a good one. Sorry that my mic quality is crap. I didn't bring my mic. I'm just using my laptop, which is absolutely horrible. The thing is starting to die. I really need to get a new one, but I'm a broke college student. So, yes, I'm gonna end this here. You guys, I want to say I hope you guys enjoyed the video, but really, who can enjoy something like this? Just wanted to release something. Kind of talking about this for a bit. There's always this outcry anytime a minority, well, not even a minority. It's when a black person is shot. Like you had an instance of a black kid getting shot because he had a BB gun, and then I think over the past few years there were like 6 Latino kids and a few white kids who were also shot because of this, and it got absolutely no publicity. Okay, now I'm ending the video here. Thank you guys for watching.